In this tutorial in DaVinci Resolve, we're going to show you how to get started with titles. Oftentimes we want text on the screen, and so we use a title to do that. How do you accomplish this in DaVinci Resolve? A title in Resolve is actually classified as an effect. And so to get to my titles on top of this clip of the Golden Gate Bridge, I'm going to click on the Effects library in the upper left corner. When I do that, a panel will open on the left side, which is my effects library, and if I look in my toolbox section, the third element down is titles. We're going to select that. We have three categories of titles that are available to us. Do the drop down and get the first category, and I'm going to choose the second one from the bottom, which is the basic simple text. I'm going to hold the mouse over that, drag and drop, and put it on my track number 2. Now the default length is 5 seconds. There are three ways in which you can change the duration of that. One way is simply to take the mouse and hover over either end of the title and drag to make it longer or shorter. Another way to do that is to right-click on it and from the pop-up menu choose Change Clip Duration. I click on that and it will give me a time code that I can type in. Say I want it 10 seconds and I want it 0 frames. And again, you can use either the time code or you can use a frame option for measurement. And now it's exactly 10 seconds long. And I can manipulate it in terms of location any way I want, like any other text clip or video clip. The third way is to use Control D, and that again will allow me to change the duration of it using the shortcut key, and over time that will save you lots of time. So now I have it on the screen in the center. I can edit it without getting into the inspector, but the inspector has so many powerful tools I'm going to turn it on anyway. I'm going to go up to the upper right with it highlighted and click on Inspector, and this gives me lots of options that I can use. We're going to use some basic ones in this tutorial and add more later. You notice in this box it gives me the text that's in my title. The default is basic title. I sometimes prefer editing up here because it seems cleaner, so I'm going to type Golden Gate Bridge, and then I'll type another line. I hit Enter, a place to be. Let's look at some of the ways in which we can modify that. If you would like to use the mouse, you can simply click on the entire text and you'll see the box appear. You can drag and move the box anywhere you want on the screen. Now you notice it snaps vertically and horizontally in the middle, and that can be a problem. If you hold the Alt key down while you're dragging, it will ignore all the snap to lines that are default in the screen. So that gives you another way to modify that. You can also click on the corners or sides of the box to make it larger or smaller. This is zooming out or zooming in. It doesn't change the default font size, but it is your zoom control. You can also click on the ball at the very top of the center line in the middle and rotate the text left to right with the mouse. But I find the mouse to be the least precise way to do this. I prefer to use the controls at the right, so let me cover some of those. We have what we normally expect when we're looking at text in Windows applications. We have a font family, so we can choose to modify the kind of font we're going to use. We have a font face, depending on the family loaded in your fonts in Windows. We have a size, and we can use the ball to slide on the slider, or what I prefer is you can drag across the numbers. It's a little more precise. And if you want to be totally precise, you can double click on the number and type in a value. Let's say we want a 134. Press Enter, and now I've got it precisely there. The next control down is tracking. Tracking is a bit misleading. It's the space between the letters. Again, I can use a slider, or I can drag across the number left to right, or I can type in a number. If I move it to the right, you notice the distance between the letters increases. It tightens up as I move it to the left. And again, I prefer to use either the mouse over the numbers, which gives me a lot of precision, or change the numbers myself. You also have a line spacing, and that's why I put 2 lines in here. Notice we can tighten it up, or we can expand the space between the lines in that single text element that we have. You can change your font style in one of 5 ways. You can change your font case. You can go mixed or all caps, lowercase, all small caps, or simply title caps. Let's do title caps, and you notice how it changed it. We'll go back to our mixed, and that's the way I typed it in. And then we have obviously alignment, which is very common, left, center, right, etc. We're not going to deal with the anchor on this lesson, but I do want to show you a little bit about position. To move the position of it very carefully, I prefer to drag across the X and Y coordinates. And this I find a lot easier than using the mouse on the screen. So here horizontally, I can get it exactly where I want to. And again, if I want to be absolutely precise, I can type in the number. Same way when it's dealing with vertically. And so we can modify this both X and Y. And again, the zooming I think is a lot more precise by using these options here. And we can also rotate. Again, I'm going to drag across the letters. And if you want to go back again to a 0, I just click on the letters, type in 0, press enter, and now it's perfectly horizontal again. So those are some of the elements on the basic way in which you can modify it. Again, you can also use color. I'll change the color here. Let's go to maybe something in the blue and click on OK. We also have elements we can change called stroke, drop shadow, and background. We're going to deal with those in the following tutorial in order to keep these short. But this is a simple way to get started with putting titles on your screen in DaVinci Resolve.